been a while since I rambled about Amnesia. I mean, I've written about it on my blog occasionally, done lots of cosplay stuff for it, especially over the past month or so. But I want to talk about something story-related. And the interesting thing is, it never really piqued my curiosity very much until I watched a Let's Play of Call of Cthulhu. So you should go watch a Let's Play of Call of Cthulhu if you haven't already, because it's really interesting. Kind of a unique game in some respects. It's an experience unlike any other, really. What got me curious was one line that Daniel wrote in his journal.
The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still.
For the longest time, I figured that familiarity was due to the fact that he got a vision from the orb, and it gave him visions of other places. It brought him some kind of strange connection to the shadow, which is why it chased him, and also why he had strange dreams and was able to construct the orb after having such dreams. But what I'm thinking now is that maybe it was more than just a vision or a series of visions. What got me thinking about that was the ending of Call of Cthulhu. Warning, spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled for this game, don't watch anymore, and yeah. To sum up the spoilerific ending of Call of Cthulhu, the main character, Jack Walters, ends up being, I suppose, abducted, but I don't know if that's the right word. His mind is swapped with a creature known as a Yith, or Yithian. They apparently swap minds with humans to learn about them, and then humans learn about the Yithians in return. Although when they're sent back to their bodies after whatever period the Yithians keep them around for, their memories get wiped. But apparently said humans can start to remember these things, or have some kind of recollection of it only in dreams. And basically this explains why Jack Walters was cuckoo for 6 years in his human body. It was because there was a Yith mind in there. People obviously probably couldn't understand the language he was saying and everything like that. So, if Jack Walters swapped minds with a creature, learned about the society of the Yith and all of their history, their language, and then was returned back, I wonder if a similar thing happened with Daniel, but not on the same level. Since Daniel did say he was suffocating within minutes, and was curious how he lasted an hour. And so maybe Daniel's time in another world wasn't as lengthy as, say, Jack's was. But it's very possible that Daniel didn't just get a vision, but that he was actually transported somewhere else, as we learned that, the orbs have power to bring people to other worlds, maybe even other times. So this would explain why Daniel also not only has familiarity towards the statues in the tomb, but also it explains how he's able to repair the orb, the haunting dreams, when he hears the voice from the void that makes it difficult for him to sleep and him not wanting to relive all of that. You also have to wonder if that's to deal with the Lovecraftian idea of, losing sanity. Our human brains can't comprehend the things that lurk in the dark corners of the earth, or, well, in the case for Daniel, in complete other worlds than Earth. But what I'm curious about is, well, Daniel wrote the actual journal entry describing that entire day and descended to the orb chamber after it happened, because he says, my hands tremble as I write. Obviously you want to document what happened right after the whole incident. But what's interesting to me is that, he describes the familiarity towards the statues, sculptures, whatever, in the tomb as haunting him still. Which makes me wonder if the word still at the end there implies that he had that familiarity sense as he was descending into the tombs at first, or was it when he was being pulled out? Because if it happened after the encounter with the orb, then it would make total sense. But if there was some kind of familiarity he was sensing with these statues before he even touched the orb, I'm wondering, does he have some kind of connection that we haven't been told about? If he got that before, that would raise a lot of questions. It like Jack Walters in the sense that a Yithian swapped minds with his father at his conception, in that sense that Daniel has otherworldly powers and therefore is entirely human. But I don't know. I'm mostly presenting this as a bunch of questions, wondering what really happened inside that tomb in Algeria. It makes me think of the Remember Collection short story, where Johann Weyer is getting the help of the two French soldiers in another tomb catacombs, where they pick up the orb and Weyer actually summons the shadow to take them out because he knows that they'll probably kill him. Because at first I read that story and I thought, okay, the shadow just showed up and killed them, but then you realize, you read that he starts making motions with his hands as if to summon it. So, if two ordinary guys picking up the orb caused nothing to happen, and they were taking it out, and they obviously didn't have good intentions, whereas Daniel, he might not have had the best of intentions, like not the purest, as in he wanted, the fame, the glory, possibly money as well, but he wasn't interested in its power. He didn't want to use it for malicious ends. He was just like, I just thought it was a cool relic, I thought this would advance my career. I'm wondering if in that sense, Daniel had some special power to invoke the shadow unknowingly by touching it, and therefore that's why it broke. So if Daniel had that kind of intuition or some kind of otherworldly abilities, something like that, it would explain a hell of a lot why the orb broke when he touched it, even though when plenty of again, with that story of regular soldiers picking it up and having no problem, why the shadow chased him, why the shadow would even have an interest in it with him, how he was able to put it back together. I probably should read more Lovecraft, but I don't even know where to start or to learn all about the mythos. But that's my rambling for today. Just wanted to talk about the Amnesia story a bit. What do you guys think? Let me know. And this was interesting to ramble about. I'm sure I forgot a few of the details, but that's the general idea of what I've been thinking about over the past week. See you guys.